Hello, welcome back to the Ball Games 4K YouTube channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. But today we are continuing our rundown of our top 100 ball games of all time. This is number 50 down to 41. We ain't played every single game known to humanity, so if your favourite game ain't on this list, please don't cop the strop. But yeah, let's crack on with this list. Board Games 4K. So number 50 on the top 100 board games of all time is a game by Paolo Mori. It's Ethnos, and in this game you will be selecting 6 out of 12 different factions to go head to head together in an area control fest. Basically what you'll be doing on this game, you'll either be picking a card from the display and putting it in your hand, or you'll be playing cards in front of you that will allow you to take actions based on what race or faction you are playing. The fact that there's 12 different factions in this game means that every single game you're going to be playing is completely different. There are billions of different combinations. This game needs a bloody expansion. Come on, Paolo, where the bloody hell are you, mate? Get off the potty. But yeah, Ethnos, a super area control game that you really must play today, right? Number 49 on this list is the second horse racing game that is on this list, and it's Longshot. This is a game where you will be buying horses from a central display. You'll be placing bets on different horses, and you'll be playing cards that will manipulate the way that the race pans out. We love this game. It needs to be reprinted, but if you can find Longshot, it's definitely one of the best horse racing games, if not the best horse racing game that we have played. And if you can find it, get it, because it's super duper. Number 48 on this list is a game by Splotter. There's not too many Splotter games on this list, but this is Roads and Boats. This game looks really crap because the artwork on it is shite. The strategy involved in this blows my mind every time we play this one. Basically what you'll be doing, you start with a donkey, and you'll be using that donkey to collect resources or create resources that will allow you to expand your little empire and trying to connect different tiles together that will give you a more efficient engine, right? This game comes with an acetate sheet that you put over the tiles, and you'll be actually drawing on the board with a marker pen. Splotter often gets criticised for being a bit of a cult-like type thing. Some people say that they produce these games as a joke to try and trick people into buying them, but I don't believe none of that. They could make their games look a little bit better, but then I suppose that's part of their uniqueness, right? Roads and Boats, a behemoth of a game. I actually sailed to France in the empty box last spring. But yeah, if you could get a copy of Roads and Boats, you'll have a good laugh. 47 on this list is a game by Matt Gertz, a rondel game. It's Imperial. In this game you will be assisting different powers of the industrial age by investing in bonds that will allow you to build armies, boats, with the intention of getting dividends back to give you cash that will give you victory points, right? Imperial is best played as a 6-player game, which means that everybody's going to be vying for control of each power. This is a game where allegiances are formed and trampled on real quick, and there's a really nice feel for the scramble for control of the powers. Matt Gertz is a fantastic designer. He's the guy that did Concordia. But yeah, Imperial is a unique game that has a really original investment mechanism that everybody should experience at least once in their pitiful life. Number 46 on this list is Terraforming Mars. When I first played this, I wasn't that impressed with it, but I persevered with it, and I'm actually starting to become quite fond of this game right now. This is a card-driven game. This is a hand management card-driven game with a bit of tile laying. You'll be assuming the role of a corporation. You'll be acquiring these cards that you will play that allow you to build structures on Mars. You might be able to introduce different types of life forms, and whilst the components of this game are shocking to say the least, there is a really decent game lying under the surface of this one. Like I said, it did take a few plays to actually enjoy this one. I just thought at the beginning, I thought it was just a shitty card game, but now we've got a couple of expansions and we're really loving this game, and I'm sure over time, maybe next year for instance, it's going to be creeping up the list just a little bit. Number 45 on this list is a space-themed game called Exodus Proxima Centauri. If you've got the expansion, you'll be able to take control of one of the different races in this game. Basically, it's a 4X game. It's a expand, explore, exterminate, and no one can ever remember the last X. You'll be placing dice out onto the board that will show you how many of that planet's resources are left, and you'll be building ships, trying to kick your opponent's asses. It's a fantastic game. It's often compared unfairly to Twilight Imperium and Eclipse. It's a different beast altogether. Stupid twat, I missed out on the third expansion. I don't think that's ever going to be reprinted. If you've got a copy of that and you don't want it, send it to me please. I'll give you a ham sandwich in return. But yeah, Exodus Proxima Centauri, brilliant space game, love it. 44 on this list is a game based on a book that we've never read, and we're probably never ever going to read it. It's Pillars of the Earth. This is a worker placement type sort of game where you'll be using your master builders to take different actions and help the clergy of the time build the cathedral. There's a really unique mechanism in this whereby you'll be placing your builders in the bag, and depending on where they come out, that determines how expensive things are and the turn order. But yeah, it's a very simple game, but it's a very deep game, and it's a good example of one of those classic mid-noughties Euro games, you know, that sort of era when Stefford Feld was feeling like he was Superman, right? 43 on this list is another worker placement game. It's Lords of Waterdeep. In this game, you'll be assuming the role of somebody who is going to be helping the Lords of Waterdeep assert their influence on the city. You'll be hiring different workers like wizards, thieves, not bleeding rogues, right? It's first edition, isn't it? To help you fulfill the requirements of different quests and to get victory points. This game is so simple, but it's so fantastic. The game lasts for about an hour. Anybody can play this game, and whilst it really hasn't got any sort of affiliation or connection with D&D, if you want an entry-level worker placement game that I've never heard anyone complain about, Lords of Waterdeep is one of the first go-to games you should have. 42 on this list is another worker placement game, Blink and Eck. It's Russian railroads. In this game you've got different tracks that go from city to city, and you'll be moving your trains along these tracks in order to gain rewards that will give you victory points, right? You'll be doing this by placing your workers out onto the central board to take actions. You've got different personalities in the game that will give you different special abilities. Russian railroads is said to be one of the more complex Euro worker placement games out there, but once you get the rules under your belt, it really isn't that difficult to digest. It's more problem with the rule book. If you want a Euro game that just goes beyond that Pillars of the Earth type thing to give you that little bit more bite, then Russian Railroads is a fantastic option. Number 41 on this list is a game by Uwe Rosenberg, best played as a free-player game. This is Le Havre. The actions in this game are really, really simple. You'll be moving your marker along the dockside, and you'll be taking certain resources, and you'll be spending resources to buy cards that you can put in your tableau. Le Havre is an astonishing achievement. There's so many different options in this. Different cards come out each time you play it, and the fact is that they come out in a different order, so you never really know when the card you want is going to be available. This is one of Uwe Rosenberg's best games that we've played. We haven't played all his games. That's probably why Feast for Odin isn't on this list. But yeah, Le Havre, if you want one of the quintessential free-player games, it's not exclusively free-player, but if you want one of the best free-player games, then Le Havre is definitely an option you should consider. So there you go, that's another portion of this list done and dusted. If you fell asleep during that, then shame on you. I'll be coming round your house to give you a slap. But yeah, obviously we're going to be carrying on with this list. The next one is going to be number 40 down to 31. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video.